Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Awesome. It looks like our participant count is going up. We've got some action here. That's great. I am going to get started so we have enough time. Welcome everyone to the Colleges That Change Lives Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website or go back to the recordings at strivescan.com/CTCL. And before we jump into our first presenter, we are going to show a quick welcome video.
Hi, I'm Ann Morano, Executive Director of the Colleges That Change Lives. Congratulations on starting or continuing your college search, and thanks for saying yes to spending some time with us during the virtual college fair. I'm so excited for you. Take a deep breath. You got this. One thing you need to know about all of the colleges that change lives is that we are fiercely committed and dedicated to the individual student, that's you, and a student-centered search. You really matter to us. So think about what you value and what you're looking for in your college experience. What will make you happy on campus? What sorts of experiences are you looking forward to having in and outside of the classroom? What sorts of clubs and organizations do you want to get involved with? Do you want to start? What sorts of folks do you want to be surrounded by? People who have similar backgrounds, similar viewpoints and opinions, or people who come from different backgrounds who have different opinions and viewpoints. What kinds of conversations do you want to get involved in on campus? Again, in and out of the classroom. Which ones do you want to start? Which ones do you want to spill out into the hallways after class is ended? What sort of physical environment are you looking forward to? Do you want to be in an urban metropolitan area or further away in what I call a more rural, nature, green stuff kind of space? How close do you want to be to home, or what you call home? Do you want to try something completely different in a location that's brand new to you, or do you want to stay a little closer to what's familiar? If it matters to you, it matters to us. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions in the chat during each session. So make sure you show up as yourself, be yourself, and get those questions answered. The Colleges That Change Lives are 44 distinctly different liberal arts institutions located across the United States. Although they are all different in terms of their academic offerings, their personalities, their vibe on campus, sometimes even their single gender focus or faith affiliation, they all share a commitment to you and to the liberal arts, because we believe that no matter what you want to study or what you think you want to do once you have graduated from college, the liberal arts provides you with lifelong learning. It will make you a more effective communicator, resourceful problem solver, and global citizen. And we think that's super important, especially for today. If there are questions that you have that don't get answered, or we can provide additional support or be a resource for you after the fair, throughout your college search and application process, don't hesitate to reach out to any one of the member colleges or myself. And if there are schools that you'd like to learn more about, or schools that are not represented at the virtual fair, be sure to check them out at our website, ctcl.org. Good luck, and thanks again for being here.
All right, and without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Goucher College.
Welcome, everyone. Let me get set up. Hey, welcome. My name is Lisa Hill, and I am Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Goucher. Thank you so much for taking time to learn a little bit about us this evening. Goucher is located just north of Baltimore in the suburb of Towson. And Towson is home to 2 colleges, including Goucher, a number of major retailers, restaurants, and social venues, which are all within a short walk or quick shared ride from campus. A central location also provides access to a number of major cities. Baltimore's Inner Harbor is just 12 miles from south of our campus. We're about an hour drive to Washington, D.C. We're about 90-minute drive to Philadelphia. It's about a 3.5-hour train ride to New York City. And we're located about 45 minutes from Baltimore, Washington International Airport. So it's an easy location to get to. Baltimore itself is affectionately known as Charm City because of its endless charm. It is home to over 12 colleges and universities, which brings about 160,000 college students to the area every year. Baltimore has a long history as an important seaport. It's a cultural hub with a number of museums, entertainment venues, lots of history, and wonderful places to eat. Baltimore also provides our students with a lot of opportunities for community-based learning as well as internships. So our campus, Goucher is a diverse community that reflects today's world and students who are attracted to us because they can be themselves. Successful Goucher students are intellectually curious, passionate about social justice, and have an eagerness to experience the world. So our campus, we are situated on a 287-acre campus. We have about 1,100 students in attendance. We have undergraduate students and about 900 graduate students. Our students come from 45 states, including Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and over 20 countries. The atmosphere is relaxed and friendly. We're a community where students are quick to say hello, and professors know who you are, both in and outside of the classroom. Also, because of our size, our average class size is 17, and we have a 10-to-1 student-faculty ratio. So as a private liberal arts college, we are dedicated to providing students for the jobs of the future. Our liberal arts education includes the sciences, and a focus on critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and communication. All skills that many of today's employers are seeking in their employees. So we put this concept into action through our Goucher Commons curriculum, which is a curriculum that all students pursue regardless of their major. So instead of a laundry list of general education requirements, students take a series of seminar, interdisciplinary, and proficiency-based courses that are adapted to their areas of interest. We offer a variety of majors and minors that reflect the liberal arts and new ways of learning. And just in the past couple of years, we actually added 8 new majors based on students' interests, including education studies, engineering science, professional creative writing, and we now have a minor in Asian studies. Additionally, we now offer 4+1 programs, which are Bachelor of Arts programs combined with a master's program in business. So we have a joint program with Johns Hopkins School, Carey Business School, where you receive an MS degree in your 5th year, or you can receive an MBA degree from Loyola University in Maryland. And we have many more to come. So in addition to our classroom experience, we provide students with numerous opportunities for experiential learning, including global experiences, internships, and community-based learning opportunities. So our big one is our global experience. Since 2006, Goucher has had 100% commitment to incorporating a global perspective throughout a student's academic experience, which means 100% of our students study abroad. And our study abroad options include semester-long experiences, as well as intensive courses abroad, which are 3-week programs led by Goucher faculty. All the semester programs are included in the student's tuition, so there is an additional charge to study abroad. And typically these programs will take place during the student's junior year once the majors and minors have been declared. So this is just gives you an idea of all the places that you can go. And we're actually adding more exchange programs and other programs to this list. Another example of our experiential learning is our Internship Accelerator program. So Goucher's Internship Accelerator ensures every student has an equitable access to internship experiences. The accelerator includes innovative programs to expose students to internship opportunities and employers throughout their time at Goucher. And this structured scaffold approach begins in the classroom in the very first semester at Goucher. And so just in summary, the first year, students will have the opportunity to visit employers and organization sites in January, which is our mini semester, to learn about available internships and jobs and gain exposure to various industries. Your second year, you get to participate in micro internships, participate in short-term paid or virtual projects. Again, that will take place in January. And then your final 2 years, upper level students will actually apply for their internships and begin earning academic credit. On the right side of the screen, we'll list some of the internships that our students have participated in. And the focus on internships combined with our curriculum-based career education ensures Goucher students are prepared to launch their careers upon graduation. So the fun stuff. So outside of the classroom, our students are very busy. As a residential college, more than 80% of our students live on campus all 4 years. So there's housing for students all 4 years. First year students will live in our first year village, which is a living and learning complex designed to foster community and collaboration and features performance studios, a fire pit, a demonstration kitchen, lots of hammocks, and all the rooms are doubles. Our Mary Fisher Dining Center is centrally located on campus, and our food service company utilizes local farmers to supply with fresh produce and our meat and dairy products. Our dining hall is set up in food stations and can accommodate a variety of dietary regimens, including vegan, vegetarian, kosher, allergen-free, gluten-free, and it's all really, really good food. We also have over 60 clubs and organizations for students to join, including the Bad Movie Club, the Beekeeping Club, the Woman of Color Circle, and affinity and cultural groups. It's very easy to start a club on our campus. If you're an athlete, we are Division III in athletics, and we offer 10 women's sports, 8 men's sports. We have a nationally ranked equestrian, co-ed equestrian program on campus. We have about 28 horses on campus, as well as intramural and club sports. So a little bit about admissions. We offer an individualized and holistic admissions process that is test optional since 2006 and is free of an application fee. Additionally, all students are considered for merit scholarships when they apply for admission, and those scholarships range from $15,000 per year for 4 years to $35,000. And students can submit their application for either early action or regular decision consideration. Both deadlines are non-binding and offer what we call rolling admissions notification. So if your application is incomplete, within 2 weeks, we will evaluate your application, let you know of your admissions decision, your merit scholarship, and if you file your FAFSA, we will let you know about your financial aid. So this is just a little bit about Goucher, some of the accolades that we have that kind of make us special. And if you have additional information, I welcome you to reach out to me. I encourage you to come visit the campus and see what we have to offer. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next I'm going to invite St. Mary's College of California. You're up.
Hey everybody, good evening. My name is Jenna Sharino. Is everyone able to see this okay here? Perfect. Jenna Sharino here, Associate Director of Admissions with St. Mary's College of California. I I am really, really proud to introduce St. Mary's as the only Catholic, only California, and only Division I school that's renowned out of the 45 colleges that change lives. We're all here the last 2 days to share more about our really incredible institutions with you. All of us are dedicated to a student-centered college search process. We're all here to support you and very much take a holistic admissions review into consideration. So personally, I graduated from a Colleges that Change Lives school. I went to Goucher College and graduated in 2013. And I chose to work for St. Mary's specifically because it was a school that I could believe in and really valued the attributes as a liberal arts campus, really embracing a lifelong learning approach to education. So I'm excited to share more about St. Mary's with you. To start, we're located in the heart of the Bay Area. So Moraga, California is located right in the heart of the East Bay. We're about 35 minutes directly east from San Francisco, about 20 minutes directly east of Oakland, and then 15 minutes directly east of Berkeley. We're in a really awesome spot. I mean, our location is absolutely stunning. We're surrounded by the rolling hills of the Contra Costa Mountains, close proximity to Napa. We're only 3 hours from Tahoe and about an hour from the Pacific Ocean. So ideally, just to get off campus and enjoy the life in the Bay, students really take advantage of that. But also when it comes down to pursuing internships, having proximity to San Francisco, to San Jose, to Walnut Creek, San Francisco is one of the most innovative and diverse cities in the state of California, let alone the entire country. So students have ample opportunities for internships. We are a smaller school in comparison to a lot of the behemoths in California, right? So our students make up about 2,700 undergrads. Our campus is focused on undergraduate success and undergraduate learning. Although we do have graduate programs that encompass degree options at St. Mary's, our undergraduate students are faculty's first and primary focus. We don't have any teaching assistants. So the graduate programs are separate from the undergraduate students. We have a liberal arts curriculum, as all of us do in the Colleges that Change Lives. So students will pursue classes outside of their major fundamentally. But what I really love to share is the definition of the liberal arts, which means freedom from narrow thinking. So the ability to, and the encouragement to take classes that you are interested in, that excite you, to really get a comprehensive background of study across the different academic curriculums. The liberal arts are also highly intuitive with mentorship and collaboration between students and faculty. So that's a big aspect of attending a liberal arts college, is collaboration over competitiveness. We do have a religious affiliation. We are a Catholic Lasallian college. Our Lasallian community historically was built upon the work of Jean-Baptiste de La Salle, who was the revolutionary patron saint of teachers back in 16th century France. He opened the access to education that we see it today. So back then, only the wealthy and the elite of the societal class could receive an education. Access and quality education was one of his fundamental principles and inherent rights of us all. And that's one of our core principles today. We also have grounded and intrinsic ties with social justice and community service. Civic engagement is also one of our core principles, as is inclusion and respect for all. So although we are a Catholic college, there are so many opportunities to pursue faith in whatever way you feel will best guide your student experience. About 54% of our students do identify as a religion other than Catholic. We do have Mass every day, but it is not a requirement or an expectation for students to attend Mass. And our students, just as you'll take a liberal arts course in math and science, you will also take theology and religious studies courses. Just 2 is the requirement. So lots of ways to explore faith. And again, whatever way you feel called into service and faith. Notably, we also are Division I, so we compete in the NCAA Division I West Coast Conference, so at the highest level in our conference. Some of our rivals are Gonzaga, Santa Clara, USF, University of San Diego, Loyola Marymount, Pepperdine. So there's a really strong sense of school spirit that exists at St. Mary's because of that. We also have over 23 different club and intramural sports, so there's lots of ways to get involved in playing a sport, even if you're not a D1 athlete. My favorite question that I always get asked from students is, what is a typical St. Mary's student? And I love this question because there isn't an answer for this. Our students are incredibly diverse in every single way. I already mentioned our spiritual diversity that's present on campus. 57% of our student population do identify as BIPOC, multicultural, or as a student of color. And 31% are the first in their family to attend college. And this past year, 27% of our students are Pell eligible, meaning they demonstrate significant financial aid. And financial aid is a huge part of our process and investment for the education too. So students are really excited to embrace difference at a college like St. Mary's that definitely embodies the diversity of the Bay Area, where students are excited to get out of their comfort zone and really be immersed in a community that cares and that's excited to experience difference as well. We have 43 different academic programs. So these are all of our majors across the School of Science, the School of Liberal Arts, and the School of Economics and Business Administration. Our average class size for all of our academic programs, so everything that you see here, our average class size is 19 students. We don't have any classes that exceed 30 students in a class. 30 is our cap for some of our more lecture hall style classes. Students really are immersed in more discussion-based interactions and where you have a professor who's there to advocate for you and to be in an environment where you can advocate for your own learning. That's definitely really important. We also don't have any teaching assistants, as I mentioned before, so no graduate students teach any of our classes, and we don't have any impacted majors. So none of our academic programs cap a number of students that are accepted each year. So when you submit your application to St. Mary's, you can submit as undecided or you can enter into a program, but there is not a requirement to declare a major until after the end of your first year. Typically, students will declare a major by their second year. So that's really great because you have a chance to come in and start exploring different classes and different topics that interest you. And then you'll have multiple advisors that are there in your first year to help get you on track, not only towards declaring a major, but setting out that 4-year graduation plan and encouragement for internship, graduate programs, research, all of that good stuff. Business administration is definitely our largest major in terms of outcomes and reputation for return on investment. Our business majors are some of the highest paid in the country. 80% of our students that major in business will be offered full-time employment within 6 months of graduation, and being so close to San Jose, Silicon Valley, and the Bay and the San Francisco city. Tremendous opportunity for internships with some of the premier Fortune 500 companies. We have quite a few cooperative programs like with Google, with Genentech, Cisco Marketing Technologies. We've had students that have interned at Pandora, with Pixar. And this is definitely globalized outside of just business, but those are some of the notable business majors or business internships that students have done. Justice, Community, and Leadership is a really prominent education program. Students actually can earn their teaching credential, their 4-year degree, all within 4 years. With a single subject or a multiple subject teaching credential. We're also really well known for the performing arts. We do have conservatory style music, dance, and theater programs, but without the requirement to audition into the major itself. Biology encompasses pre-med. We have a 75% average acceptance rate to pre-med every single year for our students that are pursuing a pre-med pathway. So I'm happy to answer any other questions specific about other majors in the chat. 2 really unique academic experiences at St. Mary's are Collegiate Seminar and January term. Collegiate Seminar is an experience and an immersion in the great books. So throughout 4 years, students take 1 collegiate seminar class each year. It's the heart of the St. Mary's curriculum, focused on the liberal arts through discussion-based, Socratically taught courses, where students are literally in a roundtable discussion, reading, discussing, debating, critiquing, highlighting, making connections between some of the greatest works of our time period from both Eastern and Western authors, philosophers, politicians. So everything from Socrates to Martin Luther King, to Aristotle to Siddhartha, from Plato to Shakespeare. So you get to deep dive into these texts and bring to light the modern 21st century and how our lives today are impacted by and resonated by the text itself. So you really learn how to think, not what to think. January term is my favorite experience at St. Mary's. It's one short term during the month of January where students have the opportunity to take a class that has nothing to do with anything in relation to their major, either on campus or internationally or domestically throughout the United States. There's about 25 different international trips that go abroad every single January term and a long list of 50 different classes, all with a very out of the box style curriculum, but very academically focused. Regarding the application this year, we have 2 deadlines for first year students. Early action admissions, the deadline is November 15th, and regular decision, the deadline is January 15th. We require submission of either the common application or the St. Mary's application. Please take down this fee waiver code that will waive the application fee to apply this year, so you don't have to pay to submit your application. A letter of recommendation, and your and your transcripts. We are test optional. We went test optional last year. We will be test optional for the forever future. I think it's like 32 colleges out of the 44 are test optional. So again, really encompassing and embracing the holistic approach to reviewing your application is important to us. And then lastly, scholarships, incredibly important. 90% of our students receive financial aid from St. Mary's that includes merit-based, need-based, and private scholarships. Our merit-based scholarships alone start at $13,000 and go up to $31,000. And they are automatically awarded based on your academic GPA when you apply. So once you are accepted to St. Mary's, you will automatically be awarded a merit scholarship too. And of course, be sure to file your FAFSA. I think October 1st, a couple days ago, was the first day you can start working on your FAFSAs. Our average financial aid package per student is about $38,000. So yeah, between merit and need-based aid, students across all of our campuses can certainly be looking at significant financial aid. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the chat, but I will now turn it over to my colleague, Douglas.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Ursinus College, you're up.
Thank you so much. And everybody out there, just give me a moment as I share my screen. So first and foremost, thank each and every one of you guys for joining us today. I know that you could be doing anything else that you so desire on this night, but we appreciate you learning a little bit more about what the CTCL is. So here at Ursinus College, we are located just about 25 in the great city of Philadelphia, and we are a smaller top 100 liberal arts institution. About 1,500 students that hail from 31 different states. It does include DC and Puerto Rico, as well as 22 different countries. One of the major aspects about our institution is we hold ourselves in pretty high regard when it comes to academic standard. We are part of the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society, which only about 10% of colleges and institutions around the country are able to have that distinction. As you also know, as you are here today, we are also one of 44 colleges that change lives. So we do set the foundation for what it means to be an academic institution here at Ursinus. And a lot of students are traveling to the Philadelphia area for that specifically. Many students want to create that foundation with their academics, and then they will go on and participate in the Watson Fellowship, the Fulbright Scholar Program, or even the Rhodes Scholar Program, which gives students the opportunity to continue their education internationally, most of the time fully or very heavily funded. And here at Ursinus, we want to make sure that you guys know that we understand that you are not just one-trick ponies. We want to make sure that students are doing everything that they want to do, and we offer that in a variety of ways. Mostly with our academics. There are over 60 areas of study. It's about 30 majors and 30 minors here at Ursinus. And about 80% of our students are either going to double major or attach a minor program study. And you'll see over the last few years, these are our top 5 majors of biology, applied economics/business, health and exercise physiology, psychology, media and communication studies. And as some of my peers have said already on this presentation, yes, we are a liberal arts institution, but that's exactly what this means. We want students to be able to explore all of the majors and all of the academics that they want to study. Now, the way that we bring that liberal arts education to life is through the Ursinus Quest, which is our first year seminar program where we introduce our students to the common intellectual experience. And during that CIE, this is where we really start to get into the aspect of this is where you're going to learn to critical think. The CTCL schools do an amazing job of not just speaking about critical thinking, but actually putting that into practice. And this is how we do it here at Ursinus. We ask our students 4 questions from day 1, their freshman year, of what should matter to me, how should we live together, how can we understand the world, and what will I do? And of course, they're pretty big questions. We don't anticipate that any students are going to have the answers to those questions immediately, but the purpose of this is to create a discussion. We understand that students are all coming from different walks of life, all different backgrounds, they have different views and values of the world, but the point of this is to be able to have those discussions and come together to find common solutions to relatively complex problems that are going to carry out not only throughout your 4 years here at Ursinus, but once you step into the professional world. But it's one thing, again, to speak about that and talk about the theory and understand what's going on and read the syllabi and read the textbook. We want to make sure that we put all of that theory into practice. So here at Ursinus, we have something that is called the Experiential Learning Project, or the XLP for short. And with the XLP, we offer 6 separate projects that our students can choose from. Now, the students only have to choose one of them, but most of them will choose 2 or 3. And those 6 projects are a study abroad trip, civic engagement, a creative project, student teaching, independent research, or an internship. And again, students only have to do one of them, but most of them will do 2 or 3, because the last thing that we want to see when students are graduating from Ursinus is to walk across that stage, grab that diploma, and then say to themselves, what is next? We want you to do that throughout the entirety of your 4 years here at Ursinus College. Now, much like all of you out there are more than just a transfer test score, we are more than just a classroom. So at Ursinus, being 25 miles away from Philadelphia, we certainly are in a vibrant area, but the campus itself is absolutely beautiful. We sit on about 170 acres, and we are most certainly not a commuter college or a suitcase school. We do require students to live on campus for all 4 years, and there is also a 4-year housing guarantee. We have 37 different residency options for our students. There are 2 sets of freshman-style dorms. There are 2 sets of suite-style complexes, an apartment-style complex, and then across the street, which is still campus-owned property, we have 32 Victorian-style houses that we call Main Street housing. Now, those houses are traditionally going to be kept for a majority of our juniors and seniors who are maybe have something in common. Sometimes we'll call it our special interest housing as well. Maybe they're a particular sports team together, maybe they have particular interests, maybe they're all going to medical school, and they just want to live together because they're bonding over some commonalities. But with that, we also have over 100 clubs and organizations. I know that all of us on this presentation can most certainly say that we have very involved students, but we do, whether it is 20% of our students participating in Greek life, whether it's about 30% or 40% of our students participating in athletics, whether it's a cappella groups, performing arts, you name it, we most likely have it. And if there is a club that we do not have and you would like to start that, if it is an incredible idea, you can pitch that to our student activities board, and there might be the opportunity to create that club here on campus. We also want students to be the change that they wish to see in the world. So we have our Institute for Inclusion and Equity, as well as our community service departments here on campus to go out there and, again, be that change. For the students who want to have a little extra spending money, yes, we do have campus jobs. I am biased to the tour guides on campus as I supervise them, as I think that is the best position on campus. And we do have spiritual life. Now, though Ursinus is not a faith-based institution, we understand that students are all coming from different walks of life, and we want them to engage in that faith and interfaith and learn a little bit more about their faith and also other faiths that they are interested in. Now, I did mention athletics, but of course, we do have to dedicate a slide to that, as 41% of our student body is going to participate in at least one varsity sport. We do compete in Division III in the Centennial Conference, so I like to say, much like all of us on this presentation, we are academically and athletically gifted. There is a lot of school spirit. You will see that UC or the Grizz everywhere on campus, because we like to support our students not only on and off the field, but in and out of the classroom. So all of the things that we talked about in a short amount of time lead up to some incredible outcomes for our students. Now, over the last, or I should say over the last 150 years, we have over 17,000 graduates with the last graduating class that we just had. 95% of them responded to a survey that we recently sent out that had talked so highly about that CIE, that common intellectual experience, those 4 questions, because it gives them the opportunity to critically think and problem solve in, quote unquote, the real world. What's also amazing is that through that XLP, or that experiential learning project that we mentioned, where 100% of our students are getting hands-on experience, that leads to 94% of our students within 6 months of graduation working in their career field, doing some sort of service learning, or entering into graduate or post-baccalaureate program. So all of the things that we do here, trying to get to know our students, really getting to know their story, it leads to all of these things. Now, how do we make all of this happen? This is all great information. I'm sure you're saying to yourself, Doug, this is great, but how do we become an Ursinus College Fair? Well, it's very simple, since you asked. There are only 4 steps to becoming an Ursinus College Fair. Submit your free application. We are only on the Common App, and we only require just a few things: your transcript, your school report, your letter of recommendation, and then also a personal essay. We do not need test scores unless you want to send them. To provide a little bit of framework, last year's average SAT was about a 1270. The average ACT was about a 29, and we absolutely You can submit a why Ursinus College essay. It's exactly what it sounds like. What is it about Ursinus that leads you to want to become a Ursinus College grad? I always say a paragraph to a page is really the sweet spot, nothing more, nothing less than that. And of course, if you would like, you can most certainly do an interview. Now, that can be over the phone, that can be via Zoom, or that can be on campus after one of your or before one of your campus tours. And we do encourage our students to do that just so we get to learn a little bit more about you versus just the black and white that we see on your transcript or your test scores. So at that point, I wanted to be cognizant of everybody's time, as I understand that this is a long night, a lot of information. So if there are any questions, I'm going to drop my information down below, but I thank you all for paying attention. As always, go Bears.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so I am going to call everyone back on, and we're going to go through a couple questions to kind of give the students an idea, information kind of beyond just the presentations. So I'm going to bring these up. I'm going to go in the same order that the presenters presented. So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll start with Goucher.
I would say this may seem kind of small, but students, check your emails. Colleges send a lot of information via email. And I've heard from students where your accounts can accumulate emails to this represents 4 digits, over 1,000. It is very hard to maintain that. And you can miss important information. So I would say, as you are investigating colleges, signing up to get on mailing lists, as you learn about colleges, and if you realize that if it isn't a good fit for you, let the college know. Scroll down to the bottom of that email, click on opt out or unsubscribe, because that will stop the emails from going to your mailbox. And because after a while, it's going to get a little overwhelming. And I would hate for you, all of us would hate for you to miss some important information. Maybe you need a document or something about a scholarship, or even if it's about notifying you of your admissions. So maintain, as I said, maybe small, but really maintain your email to make sure that you're not missing important information.
That's great. Thank you so much. St. Mary's.
I have so many pieces of advice, but my biggest piece of advice, especially considering that most of us with the colleges that change lives are private colleges, is to never let the cost of a college deter you from applying. We all have, pretty lofty and kind of nerve-wracking sticker prices associated with our website that encompass tuition and room and board. But, in all honesty, private colleges award a significant amount of financial aid comparatively to private or state schools. Oftentimes, the amount of financial aid that you'll receive from a private college will bring the cost of tuition down to that of what it would cost to attend your local state school. So, if anything has been learned from virtual learning this past year and the virtual college search is, don't be afraid to look outside of your comfort zone, find the schools, regardless of geographic bounds, that are going to meet everything that you're looking for in college. Do your research, reach out to the schools to see if they have an application fee waiver. Number one, don't hesitate because it's probably free to apply. And then number two, if you are accepted and it's, a early action or a regular decision process that doesn't require a binding commitment, you have so many opportunities to build a financial aid package, which will ultimately bring down, again, the cost of attendance. So do your research, but also don't be afraid by that sticker price, because 0.0% of students pay our $67,000 to attend St. Mary's. The average out-of-pocket cost with scholarships applied is between $15,000 and $25,000 on average, which equates to a full year of tuition at UC Irvine or UC Berkeley.
Awesome. Thank you. Ursinus College.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one thing that we say all the time, but get to know your admission counselor, guys. Get to know us. I know that all of us on this presentation, we have pretty outgoing personalities. And that's why we do this job, is because we want to get to know you guys. We want you to get to know us. And I promise you, we're sending all of those emails. We're sending all of those text messages. We're leaving all of those voicemails for a reason, because we want to help you out with this process. I know it's a lot. I know it can be overwhelming. We all agree with that. But the whole reason for that is to make sure that your transition from high school senior to college freshman, or wherever you're at in the stage of the application process, is as seamless as possible. So maybe take some time, as Lisa was saying, check those emails, respond to one or two, especially for those schools that maybe you're thinking about looking at, and just get to know us. Maybe we can set up a visit, maybe we can set up a phone call, and you can start to filter out what colleges you're going to keep on your list, and also which colleges you're going to kick off your list.
Awesome, thank you. All right, we have time for one more question. So what is one thing you want students to remember about your school? Goucher, you can go first.
I would say the one thing to remember about us is our 100% commitment to the global experience, with all of our students incorporating a study abroad opportunity within their 4-year plan. Conversations on campus are just broader or different, and it's just really exciting to know that you get to have this amazing experience, which is included in your tuition within your 4-year plan.
Thank you so much, St. Mary's.
I love that so much. And that ties into January term as well. I mean, January term is so distinctive at St. Mary's. And also, if you're considering Eckerd College has a winter term also, where, you know, for one entire month, you get to take a class because you're excited about the topic, or because it's somewhere you've always wanted to travel to. It really gives you a chance to bring us back to the purpose of why we hope you all are considering college. It's because you're excited to learn, and you're excited to have these experiences in the classroom that are going to set you apart in the long run, that are going to offer you a unique global perspective. So January term by far, I think, offers students so many opportunities to immerse themselves in something unlike anything else you'd experience in college. And then I can't negate our school spirit. I mean, if you're looking for a small community, but you want the school spirit that rivals a Pac-10 or a Big East school, you're going to find that at SMC. Our students are incredibly proud to be Gales. They show up for games. And I've never seen students rep as much SMC gear as they have on this campus. So hopefully you will consider our community as a place where you can find your home away from home.
That's nice. Thank you. Ursinus, you're up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing that I want students to remember, one, how to say the name. It's Ursinus. So just in case you guys ever visit campus, you'll get a nice shirt that phonetically spells that out, you know, just kind of draw you along. But also going along with Lisa and Jen had said, you're not going to be limited to just doing one thing. We want to make sure that we're combining that common intellectual experience where we ask those 4 questions and really get the critical thinking skills going, and turn that theory into practice with the experiential learning project. So it's not enough just to go through the motions here. Much like any of the CTCL schools, you have to get involved because we want to make sure that you're getting that amazing return on investment. But the CIE, where you were getting those critical thinking skills worked up, moving that right into, seamlessly into your experiential learning project, I think the big takeaway for us.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for your responses. I'm going to wrap us up here. Alrighty. So thanks again to our presenters. That was all great information. We really appreciate your time. Thank you, participants, for being here with us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/CTCL. And with that, everyone have a great night.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Chelsea.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.